What's up, everybody? I'm Aaron Bach. I'm a producer here at EDM Matters and the resident Smash Bros. Expert. I'm here with Matt Meadow, the LA show guy. Matt, what is going on today?
I am super excited today, Aaron. Welcome to the inaugural Smash Hits Invitational. We've chosen 8 artists to be represented by 8 CPUs in a 1v1 tournament in Smash Bros. Ultimate, with the winner being featured heavily in our new Smash Hits playlist. Aaron and I are going to be doing some color commentary, with Aaron commentating on everything that's happening in the game. I'm going to be telling you about the artists involved. Let's begin and see who our first 2 artists are. I don't know about you. I'm super excited about this.
And it's doubly exciting because this is post Steve being added, so we're going to get some Steve Minecraft action.
Absolutely. I haven't seen him in action except for the Switch Expo yet, so I'm actually really excited to see what he can bring to the table. And our first 2 competitors are going to be Kirby and Joker, represented by Swarm and John Casey. Now, what do you think about this matching, Aaron?
I think that this is, in theory, a fairly one-sided situation because, sure, Kirby has a lot of recovery options, but very light character, and Joker can come in with Arsene for some super heavy hitting, and quite frankly, almost basically just as good of a recovery.
I agree, but musically they're both pretty damn heavy. So I think that I don't know. I'm imagining a bit of the musicality is going to come into play here with the characters, and that's just me putting my own emphasis on this. But we already see Kirby taking a commanding lead with Joker down 20%.
That's true, but Kirby is now struggling to get in while Joker's controlling the space with just tons of back air and a lot of neutral special. Never mind. Folks, when you're watching a CPU tournament, you can't ever be sure if they're being so smart that you feel dumb, or they're being so dumb that makes you feel smart.
I mean, that's the thing with CPUs, is you can never really tell what they're going to be up to. They have a certain moveset that they definitely stick to. But when you have 2 CPUs fighting each other, it's a lot more chaotic and a lot more can happen.
Absolutely right, but we have Arsene out on the field. Sure, we've got 90% to 44% Kirby's in the lead here, but Arsene, just a few moves can really make that gap shrink.
Yes, but Kirby definitely taking hold of that edge there. Oh, but Joker manages to get it back on.
Wow, keeps him off.
What just happened there?
All right, folks, so what you're seeing here, this is not typically a tournament legal stage, and there's a reason for that. As you can see, way up in the top, you do have a couple roof areas, and if you hit the bottom of that, you can get spiked right back down, which sometimes can kill you, but usually is going to save you.
That was lucky for Joker there. Oh, and that would have been the end for John Casey. But
that hammer packs a punch, folks.
Absolutely, but Kirby's still hanging on. This is... Oh!
Wow! That time... Oh my gosh, that timing was crazy. You saw at the very end there was a down B. Joker's down special allows him to essentially tank any hit without getting knocked back. Unfortunately for him, Arsene popped at just the wrong time. When Arsene pops, he gains so much damage output and so much knockback output, but it also means his down B stops. And it was just curtains for him at that point.
And that's really unfortunate, but Swarm taking a commanding lead here. John Casey sort of on the ropes, but really can't really bring it back. I mean, we all know that Swarm is the master of dark. Oh, and we get the smash. Oh, this is the end.
Folks, this could be it.
This could be it. That's game.
Absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Swarm coming in clutch with a final smash to take the match. Oh,
and a 2-stock win at that. Not even a kill from Joker. With that, Swarm moves on to the next round, and Joker, John Casey, is out of the tournament. That was an exciting match. Obviously, it didn't go the way that you anticipated.
Not at all. This was a total shocker, but for those of you who were sad to see John Casey go, we still are going to be featuring him if you look down in the links below.
Absolutely. Up next, we have Ice Climbers and Duck Hunt, represented by Echo and Lil Texas.
Wow. You know, I do like the idea of Echo playing Ice Climbers, just because he's named Echo, they're climbing, there's icicles everywhere.
Icicles. Yeah, exactly. And Lil Texas, of course, was chosen to be Duck Hunt because it's the most Western character there is in the game. He has that shooting attack, of course.
That's true. You saw right there. That down B is called Gunfighter. and it's about as you said, as Wild West as it gets in Smash Bros.
Now, musically, these two artists are as different as you can get. Lil Texas has a super hardcore, hardstyle sound and goes hard. There's no other word for it whenever he gets on stage. Eckle, much more experimental, sort of more of a cone sound sort of production, and definitely not. They do have a lot of bass in their tracks, but definitely not as hard hitting for the rave stage. But what do you think about the matchup in Smash Bros?
You know, I gotta say, when it comes to Duck Hunt matchups and Ice Climber matchups.
Oh, and that's an early death for Duck Hunt.
Wow, that came by so fast it was almost hard to see. But when it comes to this matchup, I think that you're seeing a lot of really interesting dynamics going on. Ice Climbers want to get in your face. They can do a lot of damage really quickly and a lot of knockback. But oh my gosh, it's a final smash. This could be the end of their first stock. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. And they are gone.
That is yep. And now we're back to a mostly even fight. Duck Hunt and Ice Climbers, Eckle and Lil Texas. And this could be anyone's game at this point. Oh, but I say that,
but here's the thing. As I was saying, Ice Climbers are really good at getting tons of percentage in and tons of knockback in, but they have to get in your face. Duck Hunt hates that. It wants you to stay as far away as possible. You've got that can bouncing around.
And we have the final
You've got
smash.
the gunfighter face, but the final smash is in play.
And
oh
that's
my gosh.
Oh my god, these have been two very quick games.
And, you know, we're seeing a lot of final smashes, too, which, you know, in a normal tournament environment, you'd almost never see a final smash. It's just not sort of, I guess, fair play by most people's considerations. But
yes,
it's really fun to see them pop up here.
Absolutely. But as we've seen it, Ice Climbers Eckle moves on to the next round, and Duck Hunt Lil Texas is eliminated. This is making for, I mean, so far, the whole tournament has been vastly different from our expectations, but our next matchup is going to be Peach, represented by Wednesday, and Simon, represented by Saint Punk. Again, two very different artists. Wednesday doing more of a dubstep and house approach, with Saint Punk definitely going hard in the paint with the bass house and sort of a darker, harder sound.
What I absolutely love, real quick, about the fact that Saint Punk's playing Simon is that, of course, Simon is a vampire hunter and fighting the unholy monsters that lurk in Dracula's castle. So to see him throwing holy water is just so fitting.
It really is, and that's what we've tried to do with these characters, is match them as best we can to the artists representing. Of course, you know, with Swarm being Kirby and Lil Texas being Duck Hunt, there were some concessions that needed to be made. Peach getting that counter off on Simon, but, you know, I think we
don't know where
did a
Toad
pretty
comes
good job.
from, but Toad is here to save her.
We really don't know where Toad comes from, and it keeps me up every night. But as we can see, though, it's a fairly even match so far, 74-64, 72-74. Simon doing a much more job at keeping Peach at a distance, and then getting up in her face and just smashing her with that chain.
And that's one really interesting thing about this matchup in particular, is that on average, I'd say Peach has the advantage in almost every situation, just because of her almost limitless ground and aerial options. But Simon is really all about controlling space and making sure that no one can get in.
Wow. He definitely let Peach get too close there.
Peach did get too close, and he paid the price. He's got so many projectiles. He's got so many long-range, close-up attacks. He is just here to say, get out of my face. And you can see him throwing holy crosses. You can see him getting out that chain whip. You can see him getting butt blasted. And he missed that final smash.
Oh god, that would have been it for this Peach. Oh, Peach now with the smash, and too far from Simon though. Doesn't get the activation, and Simon has Peach on the ropes for sure. This could be another 1v1. But, oh, wow. Simon doing some real nice acrobatics there.
But it was only acrobatics. No actual hits got in. But that back throw was just enough at that high percentage.
Still managed. As we've seen, Saint Punk and Wednesday on even footing here.
Yeah,
and,
I gotta say.
Wow. That was a phenomenal combo from Simon right there.
Yeah. That down tilt slides him across the ground, and if he makes contact, you can follow that up with another button press, bounce up into the air. And
no! Peach doesn't get the recovery!
Oh my god! That was an insane self-destruct. That was totally an unforced error. Peach, I don't know what was going on there, but R.I.P. in peace.
This
really such a sad thing. You hate to see it.
I mean, it's crazy how much in this tournament already we're seeing outcomes that are completely different from what we expected. Peach fails to go on to the next round. Wednesday is eliminated, and Saint Punk makes it into the semifinals. This is... Oh, man, this is...
It's been a day of upsets so far, and now
Yeah.
we're walking into uncharted territory. I wouldn't call anything that happens next an upset because we just don't know what Steve Minecraft is capable of.
This is
Yes,
Minecraft
I am
Steve.
calling him Steve Minecraft.
Yes, he is. This is Steve Minecraft versus Shulk. This is Slews versus More Kismet, who have very similar sounds, and we should see a lot of that kind of sound interpretation. Oh, this is... I am so not used to seeing Steve actually play. This is my first time watching him. I have no idea what is going on, but it is exciting to watch.
There is so much to keep track of when you're looking at Steve gameplay. Steve has one of... Oh, just to be clear, Steve is not More Kismet. Steve is actually Slews, and More Kismet is playing Shulk, just in case we hadn't made that clear. Steve has so much going on. So much is actually pulled straight from Minecraft itself. As you can see, he's got a crafting table. He's able to mine anywhere that he's touched ground, and his aerials use a bunch of his tools. As you can see, he's got an up air with an axe, a forward air with a pickaxe. Those of you playing Minecraft at home probably are very familiar with all this.
I can't even keep track of the amount of moves he's using. This is ridiculous. He's pulling everything out of his toolbox.
Absolutely, and we mean everything. He's got an iron sword now, thanks to digging up some iron and going to his crafting bench. But that also means he's got enough iron probably for a down air, which turns his iron into an anvil that he can essentially throw it.
Oh my goodness. So, explain this bar on top of Steve, his character.
This bar on top of Steve's health percentage is really interesting. It shows you what he's collected while he's mined. And it goes from left to right, from least important materials to most important. You've got dirt to wood to iron to gold to diamonds, plus also some redstone. But here we go, Shulk with a final smash. If that doesn't kill him, then this isn't Smash Bros. And this is Smash Bros. So
it
there
does.
you go. Exactly right.
So when Steve dies, does the bar reset, or does he get to keep the items that he's?
A bit of a mix. He gets to have certain things stay, such as the low value wood and dirt. But for the most part, yes, he does have to start over and start digging again. Some of you might be noticing that there's blocks just appearing all around the stage. One really cool thing that Steve can do, he can't really jump that well on his single first jump, but he can place a block while he's in the air, assuming that he has materials. And those blocks stay for quite a while unless someone's standing on them or attacking with them. Oh, he's got the final smash. What will he do next?
Oh, wow.
Complete whip.
And he misses it. So Steve's final smash is completely directional, making it very difficult to actually hit if you're facing the wrong way.
Absolutely, but it is devastating if he gets that hit in. It tosses you to the House of Boom, and you are almost guaranteed to be exploded right off the stage.
That's
now,
incredible.
as you can see, Shulk is... Oh, I was going to say something, but it turns out Shulk is dead. So. An excellent showing from both contestants. It was pretty even the whole way through, which is impressive considering that no one knows this matchup. Not even the CPUs probably know this matchup that well.
No.
So shout out to Sakurai's programming. Sakurai being, of course, the creator of Smash Bros.
Unfortunately, friend of the program, More Kismet does get eliminated, but Slews goes on to the final round. The semifinals. And next up, we are going to see what is the matchup. We've got Swarm versus Echo.
Wow. Ice Climbers versus Kirby. This really brings me back to Melee when I played a lot of Ice Climbers, and I guess... come to think of it, a lot of people I knew played Kirby. So
yeah, two very popular characters, especially in the Melee universe. But what do you think of this matchup? I mean, Ice Climbers definitely have the more powerful hits on their side, but Kirby can do so many things right off the bat with the down B and, of course, his devastating hammer.
Yeah, I think that, as you said, this is sort of a battle of the hammers.
Yes.
Probably Kirby's best bet is to play evasively. Ice Climbers don't have really sort of great mobility options, and they rely, I think, in my opinion at least, a lot on the opponents staying close to the ground because they themselves are pretty close-range fighters. And,
absolutely.
Kirby jumping around and being able to fly, essentially, is going to really get on their nerves. I think ideally, if you're Kirby, you're going to want to keep those Ice Climbers separated by staying mobile.
Yes, but we are talking about CPUs here, and they do have a better ability to use that separation to their advantage.
You know, it's funny. You would think that, but as you can tell, Ice Climbers are kind of two characters at once. The second person is usually controlled also by the human, where your button presses affect what that CPU does. However, when you're talking about the CPU playing the whole way through, it's almost impossible to guess what that second player is going to do. There's no human logic there, so it's a computer.
That was the strength that I was talking about. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God! I didn't get the smash, but it's on Popo, not Anna, so he is going to get that kill.
Yes, that's the important thing to watch. If that purple Ice Climber gets knocked out, they're both knocked out.
Yes. Oh, but Ice Climber's coming back with a smash of their own, and but Kirby is staying way above the stage. Oh, but it doesn't matter. Wow. That was a hell of a play right there.
Yeah, that was a CPU moment if I ever saw one. As you were saying, if Kirby had just stayed up in the air and avoided that iceberg, it would have probably been okay, but he sank to the earth just like the Titanic sank, and the iceberg claimed yet another victim.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And we're seeing Swarm definitely on the ropes here as Echo just keeps punishing him. And, oh my goodness.
And I gotta tell you something, Kirby being such a light character at 88% against Ice Climbers, while both Ice Climbers are still alive, one smash attack could be all it takes to get Kirby dead. And as we can see at 102%, Kirby really should be feeling the pressure.
But that smash bar on Kirby is also dangerously high for Ice Climbers.
Yes, the interesting thing about the smash bar is that it goes up faster while you're taking damage as opposed to dealing damage.
Here we go, the smash
here we go.
Oh!
Wow!
Wow!
That is something I've actually never seen, folks. It hit the second Ice Climber, and it didn't activate, and that's such a sad moment. And we got the full one out right there for
unfortunately,
Swarm, friend of the show, Swarm.
Friend of the show, Swarm is eliminated, and Echo moves on to the finals. Again, this is such an upset. With CPUs, it's so hard to tell what the actual ending of the match is going to be because there's so many different variables to take into consideration.
Absolutely.
But I mean, so far, I have been surprised with every single match. But now as we move into the second match of the semifinals, we are going to see, I believe it is Simon and Minecraft Steve. Yes, it is. Saint Punk versus Slews.
And let me just say real quick, this is an official first-party game. This is a major, top 3 game developer game, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony. Nintendo made a game where Castlevania's Simon Belmont can fight Microsoft's and Mojang's Minecraft Steve. I don't understand what timeline we live in, but boy, this makes me glad that I'm living in it.
Well, I mean, this alone, yes. The rest of 2020, not so much. But this
you
does
find
make
the
up.
light where it glows.
Exactly. This does make up for some of the things this year. But as we see already, Simon has Minecraft Steve on the ropes. And you mentioned before that even the CPU isn't quite sure what's going on. And I think that's sort of what's going on here. Definitely seeing some staggering from Minecraft Steve trying to figure out how to attack.
Absolutely, because at any given moment in time, Minecraft Steve has more options than even multiple characters might have.
What just happened there?
Yeah, as you can see, he uses his fishing rod to grab, and when he does that, he has multiple different options. His up throw gets you a plunger that knocks people up, very, very high knockback, really strong option. And it sort of also, in my opinion at least, really makes your opponent think twice about how the stage is sort of built because you're adding blocks and taking them away in rapid succession.
Absolutely, and I do want to mention now that Steve is using gold weapons, which I assume increases his attack power.
You know, you'd think that, but think back to actual Minecraft and how that game works. If you make
the durability,
tools, it's the durability and the speed, not the power. A golden pickaxe is not better than an iron pickaxe; it's just faster.
Wow.
And just like that's true in Minecraft, it's true in Smash
Bros.
Oh,
and there is the Smash.
Here we go.
Oh my god.
Into the house of Boom. We got creepers, we got zombies and TNT galore, and of course, let's eat that meat, fellas.
Oh, but not much actual damage there.
No, that was a very early life smash attack. Lots of.
But Simon gets and this will be enough to kill Steve here.
Wow, a lot of holy crosses there, and that ends Steve's life. As you can see, by the way, this is deceptive. those of you who know about competitive Smash Bros. Might recognize Battlefield as a mainstay stage across all of Smash Bros. But this is sort of a new addition to Smash Ultimate, and when I say new, I mean very new in the last few months. This is actually a small Battlefield, and you can tell because it's missing the top of the stage. So this is also fun to see. Since basically tournaments have been dead for this whole wonderful year of ours, for very obvious reasons, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity to see this stage in action in any competitive sense. So to see these two excellent contenders use this stage now is a real treat.
And Steve's recovery there was absolutely beautiful. That has a lot of potential for life-saving situations.
Absolutely. As you can see, he's got the glider, which you can find sort of as an endgame item in Minecraft. But beyond that, while he's off stage, even way off stage, he can still build. Wow!
Oh.
He can still build blocks, but that wasn't enough to save him today from Simon Swift. And
No, it
we
was
say
not.
goodbye to Steve Minecraft for the rest of this tournament.
Before we move on to the finals, I do have one question about Steve. Can he build the blocks to the side of him to keep him from going off stage, or is it only below him?
Correct. That is only a below building option.
Well, I suppose that is good for balance.
Yes, it is good for balance, but he can stack them. So let's say that you're off stage, he starts jumping up and building a wall off screen, or sorry, off stage. If you're off screen coming back, you can just get walled off.
Fair enough. Minecraft Steve goes on to the next round. I'm sorry, no. Simon goes on to the next round. Minecraft Steve is eliminated, and we are now in our final Ekel versus Saint Punk.
And might I just say that Saint Punk is using a Holy Warrior, and Ekel is using Icicles. This is truly a meant-to-be showdown, fellas. This is a once-in-a-lifetime matchup, and by the way, I do mean that. I don't think you'll ever see Ice Climbers and Simon in the finals of any tournament you'll ever see for the rest of your lives. Let me just say that right now.
I completely agree. This is going to be an interesting match for sure, just because of the CPUs, but also because Ekel and Simon are very different producers. Ekel definitely going with the more melodic, kind of experimental producer approach. Saint Punk, he's definitely known to be more of a bass house, hard house sort of artist. And so this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Already we see that they're fighting pretty evenly, but this map is going to afford Ice Climbers a lot of interesting opportunities to get up on platforms and knock Simon around. Simon does have an opportunity to take control of the space, however, but it's going to be a lot of moving around.
Absolutely right. And as you can see, they are pretty even. I do think you're right about the stage. Because of those platforms, Ice Climbers do have quite a bit more option when it comes to what they can do at any given moment. Typically, if it's just a flat stage, I would give the advantage to Simon because he can just use his many long-range items to keep them away.
Oh, and
wow.
with the axe. Oh, but Ice Climbers is still in the game. Oh, no, never mind.
Good.
Oh, wow.
Gracious.
Remember,
That
this is
axe
the final match
so
of the tournament.
They're really pulling out all the stops. They are
really
wanting this win. This is for all the marbles, folks. And as you can see, Simon's playing keep away. He does not want them near, and I can't blame them. Ah, wow, look at that. He's got to be really careful. They are sending out that iceberg.
Ice Climbers really need to pull through with this. Oh, not enough damage to get the kill. Simon's still one stock ahead with a smash of his own. This could be the game right here if he manages to get this off.
He's just got to turn around.
Oh, when he misses it. But he still has two stocks. This isn't the end of the game here. We're still seeing Simon just absolutely demolishing Ice Climbers right now.
Absolutely right. As you can see, when the Ice Climbers use their up B, they sort of tether each other and go up way high into the air. But it does mean that they are sort of in a free fall, and typically you'd find a human player punishing them for doing that, but Simon is playing the gentleman's role, I suppose, and isn't doing it. It's a CPU extravaganza here.
Well, I suppose he has nothing really to lose with that extra stock. Definitely taking a bit of a punishment from Ice Climbers, but Simon has them on the ropes and off the stage.
Right. It's a single Ice Climber. Historically, by the way, so you know, a single Ice Climber is the worst character in Smash Bros, and that prophecy has sort of become self-fulfilling here. With Simon taking the absolute victory away.
Championship going to Simon Saint Punk. I expect that, but I am so happy. Saint Punk is a good friend of mine. Hopefully, he's a good friend of the shows in the future. Simon wins the Smash Hits Invitational, the very first one. He will be heavily featured on our Smash Hits playlist coming soon in the description, actually.
Absolutely
And
right. And just to be clear, though, we love all our participants. You will
Yes.
all get some place in our playlist, and we'll have you all linked in the description below.
absolutely. But I hope you enjoyed watching. I know we enjoyed watching and speaking about it. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of our inaugural Smash Hits Invitational. I have been Matt. This is Aaron. We are EDM Matters. Have a great rest of your day, whatever you're up to.
And whoever you want to see battle it out in the next tournament, tell us below in the comments, and we'll see what we can do about that.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.